work. This is really important if you've been seeing your result and perhaps you don't know what it means, although most of us will know what a 9 or a 1 or a U means. Some people might not know. So that's essentially why I'm making that video, just to clear the confusion. So essentially speaking, how are GCSEs graded? GCSEs before were graded in letters, but up until like 10 years ago or so, they changed it into numbers, because before it was A star being a 9, A being a 7 or an 8, a B being a 6 or 5, a C being a 4 or 3, a D being a 2, an E being a 1, and a U being basically 0, ungraded, as in you quite literally did not achieve even the next actual grade. So U is just like a placeholder grade, showing that you didn't do well enough to even achieve an E or anything. Because an E is a grade, but U is not. That means you basically got the lowest grade possible. And it's either if, and it usually only happens if you're really terrible at the subject or you slipped up big time. So essentially speaking, GCSEs now are graded in U, which is the worst. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And no 6, 7 jokes here, please. So the essential point is that 9 is the best grade and U is the worst. But the actual grade, since U is a placeholder grade, the actual grade, which is the worst grade, is actually a 1. Since that's the first actual grade that counts as a grade, rather than a placeholder one. So, essentially speaking, what you need to realise is that GCSEs go from 9 to 1, hence why when you see those guide videos for triple science or maths or English, that's why you see 9 to 1, because before it used to be letters, but now it's numbers. So essentially 1 is essentially like the first actual grade, because U is the worst one out of them all, and it essentially stands for ungraded. That's what it stands for. And before before, like, there were letters in GCSE, like A level, and I'd be surprised if A level grading systems change into GCSE grading systems in the future, because if it changes to numbers, that will be surprising, and the lesson notation is what makes A levels distinct from GCSEs. So essentially speaking, what that means is that GCSEs are, like, since a decade ago, graded by numbers, and A levels have basically been always graded by letters. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you really learn how GCSE grading systems work. Be bright, stay right, and I'll see you in the next one.